54 years, Jordan-Hare Stadium has been the site of some of the most thrilling moments in the history of college football. On this field, Auburn fans have witnessed unforgettable performances from many of the Tigers' all-time greats. Pat Sullivan, Joe Cribbs, Bo Jackson, and Tracy Rocker all left their mark on this place. The Tigers won a national championship here in 1957. They captured 3 straight SEC titles in this stadium in the late 1980s. And they defeated Alabama here in November of 1993 to cap off an undefeated season, their first under Coach Terry Bowden. Auburn fans thought they had seen it all, but that was before the Tigers met LSU on September 17, 1994. On that cloudy, damp afternoon, they witnessed one of the finest defensive performances in Auburn history and one of the greatest comebacks in the history of college football. The outcome left the experts dumbfounded, and Auburn fans chanting simply, "Defense, Auburn, defense." This SEC matchup was forecast to be a solid early season test for both LSU and Auburn. These adversaries have produced some exciting games in the past, but there was no pregame inclination that this game would be especially memorable.
The ball lined up 2 yards outside the near hash mark as Hawkins is going to kick it to Kennison over on the near sideline, 2 yards deep. He's going to bring it out to the 5, to the 10, up this near side, across the 15, bounces off 1 tackle, comes to the 25, and is bumped out of bounds.
LSU moved the ball effectively in its first possession, but it would be denied any points by the Auburn defense.
This will be a 38-yard effort. Angle to the left, slow snap, got the kick up, it is blocked. Loose football, back at the Auburn 10. Play is dead. Auburn blocked the kick. Bad snap. They got it on the tee, and Chris Schilling, what else is new? Blocks his 3rd kick of the year. So Auburn has held defensively.
Neither team's offense could muster any sustained drives throughout the first 15 minutes. On Auburn's first possession of the second quarter, the attack came to life.
Nick's up under center with a new set of downs. Here comes the blitz. They're going to run the end around. Oh, they're going to give it to Davis off that toss sweep. Davis, oh, look at him move. Tacklers, dragging tacklers for 10, 12, 13 yards. Goodness sakes alive. 13-yard pickup when they had him dead to rights at the line of scrimmage. Davis with a brilliant run. Tell me he doesn't run hard.
The Tigers drove all the way to the LSU 23-yard line, where they called on rookie place kicker Matt Hawkins.
Renfield snaps, Sullivan spots, Hawkins kick, long enough, high enough, kick, good! 40 yards for Hawkins, and Auburn draws first blood. 11:49 in the first half. Auburn 3, LSU nothing.
Auburn's joy was short-lived, however, as LSU struck quickly on their very next possession.
Out of the shotgun with 3 wide receivers. Here's Howard unloading over the middle. This catches a deflection at 45 to the 50 to 40 to 30. Bases in a foot race to 20 to the 10. He's going to go all the way. 76 yards, touchdown LSU. A deflected pass caught by Brett Besh, tipped by Brian Robinson, and Besh was able to come up with it near midfield. And from there it was a foot race, and he outran the defense.
LSU now led 7-3 and turned up the heat on the Auburn offense.
Morrow is up front in the I. And the give is to Harold Morrow. He's looking for running room, and he won't find any. He'll lose yardage back to the 35.
LSU's Tigers quickly had the ball back, but a penalty backed them up deep in their own territory. This time, Auburn's defense flexed its muscle.
Now they got 2 wideouts and 1 setback. Smith and Kennison on the flanks. 2nd and 10 at the 10. Howard, 1 setback. That's Sharp looking to get outside. Lost the football. It's loose in the end zone. Auburn falls on it. Auburn's got it for a touchdown. Touchdown, Auburn! Chris Schilling fell on the loose ball. As Sharp was forced to fumble, Mike Pelton hit him. The ball rolled into the end zone. Auburn's got the lead, 9-7.
Following the Auburn score, LSU began what would be its most time-consuming drive of the half.
Kennison split to the far side. 3rd and 7 for Howard. Has time. Sets up and fires. Passes. Grab. Beautiful catch by Birch down to the Auburn 40. Boy, he snagged that one out of the air, jumping up and pulling it in for a gain of 12 and a first down for LSU.
The Tigers held the ball for 17 plays. Fortunately, the Auburn defense kept LSU out of the end zone.
From the 12, just about straight on. The kick is up. The kick is good. And LSU leads it 10-9 with 26 seconds to go. Nonetheless, I think you got to consider that a moral victory of sorts for Auburn.
With the halftime scoreboard showing LSU leading 10-9, Coach Bowden and his Tigers had some concerns as they went into the locker room. The halftime statistics showed LSU outgaining Auburn 180 yards to 149 yards of total offense. Both teams had lost a fumble, and LSU led in time of possession by almost 7 minutes. Although it was obvious that this had turned out to be a closely contested ball game between 2 well-prepared opponents, there was nothing to foreshadow the events that would unfold in the second half. Early in the third quarter, turnovers would plague both LSU and Auburn.
There's the snap. Auburn's got a good rush. Howard unloads. Pass. May have been intercepted. Let's see. Yes, intercepted Chris Schilling. Out of the shotgun. Got 2 backs in the backfield, and Nix is in trouble, and he is hit from behind. Fumble the ball. LSU's defender picks it up. Tries to run with it, and he's got it at the Auburn 45-yard line. Going to give it to Sharp. Sharp a block on the corner, and he butts head with the defender, and he fumbles, and I believe Auburn's got it. Yes! Auburn recovers the fumble. Schilling and Robinson teamed up to cause it. One hit him, the other recovered.
Midway in the quarter, it would be LSU that finally put together a sustained drive.
Here's the shotgun, needing 6 yards at the 38. High snap, just barely able to pick it up, and he throws to Kennison long, and Kennison takes it in over the shoulder, running out of bounds at the Auburn 35. He just barely was able to grab that high snap and throw it 28 yards to Kennison, who hauled it in over his shoulder, running out of bounds on the far sideline.
But the LSU offense would be turned back before it reached the Auburn 20.
Motion by the tight end. Here's a pitch to Toomer on a 3rd down play. They hit him behind the line. Loss of yardage. Good pursuit from Raymond Lester and Jason Miska.
Still, LSU extended its lead.
There's the snap. Locked down, kick away. Is it long enough? It is good. Not exactly a thing of beauty, but he got it there and split the upright. And LSU increases its lead to 13-9.
The momentum had definitely shifted to the LSU Tigers.
Daniel stands at the 1, gets a good snap, and gets away a nice kick. High, lazy, wobbly spiral, 40-yard line. Here's Kennison. Kennison looking for room. Broke away. Kennison near the 45. He's got open field at the 50 to the 45 to the 40 to the 35. He's at the 30. He's into the Auburn 26-yard line.
Outstanding field position allowed the Tigers to move quickly into scoring position.
Out of the I set. Here's Jamie Howard up under center, dealing it off again to the tailback Toomer. Clean sailing into the 5 and on into the end zone. He got belted hard at the goal line, but he was after the fact, and LSU builds a 19-9 lead.
With the Auburn offense sputtering, Coach Bowden turned to freshman Damian Craig to inject some life into the attack. But his introduction to the LSU defense was certainly less than friendly.
Here is Craig from the I set, going to throw out of the end zone off the play fake. He's in a lot of trouble. He is hit, and he is going to be sacked outside the goal line. They say he is not in the end zone. Somebody had him dead to rights in the end zone, and he pulled away, came out across the goal line. Stansbury hit him, and they say that he was not in the end zone when he went down.
3 plays into the fourth quarter, LSU extended its lead to 23-9. It appeared that Auburn's magnificent streak of 13 straight victories was destined to end at the hands of LSU. Another score by the Bengal Tigers would certainly seal Auburn's fate. With Auburn's offense ineffective, the defense realized they would have to provide the catalyst for a Tiger victory.
Howard waiting, taking the snap, looking with time, throwing upfield, intercepted by Alvis at the 40, 35 to 30, Alvis to the 25 to 20 to 15, Alvis to the 10, still on his feet to the 5, Alvis into the end zone, touchdown Auburn! Broke a tackle and somehow kept his feet at the 5. They had 2 men on him. Both of them hit him, and I don't see how he kept his balance, but he did.
The heroics of freshman safety Ken Alvis electrified this sellout crowd. With little more than 12 minutes to go, Auburn was suddenly right back in this ball game. Its defense had given it new life. The 85,000 Auburn fans cramming Jordan-Hare Stadium now turned up the heat on the opposition.
Out of the eye, they need 11 yards. Taking is Howard, play faking Howard. He's got time, up the middle, pass, intercepted at the 32, at the 25, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. He's in, touchdown Auburn! Grant Smith! Grant Smith! Touchdown Auburn!
That is unbelievable. I cannot believe that Jamie Howard did the same thing again. He threw the same pass over the middle, and not only one Auburn man, but 2 Auburn men had a chance for the interception.
Moments ago, this team was on the brink of defeat. 2 amazing interception returns had turned Auburn's fortunes 180 degrees. The fans were delirious. Despite the setbacks, LSU was not about to let up.
Up under center, Howard waiting, taking, drifting back to pass. Over the middle, pass is caught by the big tight end LaFleur at the 40. LaFleur breaking tackles across midfield. He's into the Auburn 48 and finally muscled down by Brian Robinson.
Junior quarterback Jamie Howard would orchestrate another time-consuming drive, leading his team deep into Auburn territory. Just when it appeared LSU was about to take it into the end zone, the Auburn defense stood its ground once again.
Both ends are split away. Rolling out is Jamie Howard. He's in trouble. Floats one into the end zone. Nobody's going to get it. Incomplete. Looking for Besh. And Howard took a shot from Jason Miska as he floated that ball up for grabs in the end zone.
It allowed only a field goal. With 5 minutes left, it seemed Auburn would have more than enough time to mount their own scoring drive. But LSU's defense continued its mastery of the Auburn attack. The LSU Tigers were on the brink of a tremendous upset. Victory was nearly assured. Surely, Auburn was out of miracles.
Third down play from there, 31 and a half. Howard wants to throw. Howard fires. Pass is tipped around. It's intercepted at the 40, the 35, the 30, the 20, the 10. He's gone. Robinson, touchdown, Auburn!
Can you believe it? Can you believe it? 3 interception returns for a touchdown bring Auburn back in this ball game, and it's the defense. Can you say defense, Auburn? Unreal.
The entire LSU team stood silent in disbelief as 85,000 fans celebrated the unprecedented turn of events. But the final chapter of this epic had not been written yet. LSU still had life.
There's the deep snap. Howard under the gun, going to throw over the middle. It's intercepted at the 15, Brian Robinson to the 20. He had it knocked loose. Ball is rolling out of bounds, rolling to the sideline. LSU's going to fall on it. Who's going to get it? LSU back at the Auburn 47.
Auburn fans had ridden an emotional roller coaster for nearly 60 minutes. They would endure one more nerve-wracking LSU scoring opportunity.
Still 23, 22, 21 seconds. Here's Howard going to throw in the end zone. Howard's going to pass. It is intercepted! Chris Schelling got it in the end zone. Chris Schelling with yet another Auburn interception. And this one is history. 16 seconds to go. Schelling went up ahead of Eric Smith. Took it away in the end zone. The Auburn defense has once again risen to the occasion. Auburn's going to drop to a knee. Genuflecting, and that's going to do it. Damian Craig, jubilant as he comes out of the pile. And Auburn fans, you're living right. This was a day that belonged to the big War Eagle in the sky. The streak is still alive. 14 in a row. An incredible, unbelievable football game, unlike any that I've ever seen.
This was a day for the Auburn defense. It was a day when a group of young men simply refused to accept defeat.
Man, you just saw, if it ain't the greatest defensive ball game ever played, I ain't ever seen the I've never defense. I've never. Listen, an offense, don't you pout. You better have just as much fun as they did. Hey, offense, you have a great time tonight, but we got our work cut out for us next week. Listen, we win together. Defense, you had to do it. You had to score. You had to stop them. You took it down from the deepest part of your heart, and you did it. That offense is going to come back and help you one day. We're going to be out every day. Don't you let me see one down our offense because I'm so proud I can't stand it. You don't ever have a win. Get it going now. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. War Eagle, never conquer, never yield. War Eagle,
we got together, defense played hard, persevered. When offense went and getting together, I think we played the best game we've ever played. And I tell you one thing, we got the best secondary in the nation.
You know, all the coaches stressed that we needed a pick, that we needed to make something happen in the secondary. And we knew LSU was going to come out throwing the ball. We just tried to make something happen, which we did.
We went out there. You know, offense been carrying us sometime when we break down. Offense, they couldn't get clicking. You know, we took it upon ourselves to go out and just tell the defense, we got to go on, we got to play for the offense. And that's what we did, and I'm proud of them.
It was great. It was fun, and we had a wonderful time. And the kids played their hearts out, and I can't express how proud I am of them.
Young as I am, I've never seen anything close to being like it. People that had a chance to see that game saw something they never see again. I'm glad I was there to see it.
It was one of the most emotional victories in Auburn history, and certainly the most courageous. This was truly one for the ages.
Howard waiting, taking the snap, looking with time, throwing upfield, intercepted by Alvis at the 40, 35 to 30, Alvis to the 25 to the 20 to the 15, Alvis to the 10, still on his feet to the 5, Alvis into the end zone, touchdown Auburn!
Everybody listen up. Man, you just saw, if it ain't the greatest defensive ball game ever played, I ain't ever seen I have never defense, I may never, ever be one like that. Listen, and offense, don't you pout. You better have just as much fun as they did.
We scored every time we got in the second half.
Hey, offense, you have a great time tonight. We got our work cut out for us next week. Listen, we win together. Defense, when you had to do it, you had to score, you had to stop them, you took it down from the deepest part of your heart, and you did it. That offense is going to come back and help you one day. We're going to be after it every day. Don't you let me see one down out offense because I am so proud I can't stand it. You don't ever have a win. Hey, now. Ready? Hey. 1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 4. War Eagle, never conquer, never yield. War Eagle, finish. I don't know, you go, on the victory, say up there. Give it out, say up here. Hey, War Eagle, win for Auburn, time, Dixieland. Hey!
This is the Auburn Football Review with Coach Terry Bowden. Brought to you by your Alabama Coca-Cola bottler. Always Coca-Cola. Colonial Bank, your we can do bank. Great Southern Wood, makers of Osmos pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't say Osmos on the yellow tag, believe me, you don't want it. Golden Flake Snack Foods, great taste since 1923. Alabama Power, the energy to make Alabama better. LDDS, the official long-distance carrier of the Auburn Alumni Association. By Ziegler, a tradition of great taste. Your Alabama Toyota dealer. I love what you do for me, Toyota. Price Oil Incorporated. Look for the lion at authorized dealers. Price Oil, on the prowl. John Deere and your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find a complete line of outdoor power equipment for your farm and home. And by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama, the Caring Company.
One for the ages yesterday at Jordan Hare. Auburn 30, LSU 26. The defense scoring all the points except one field goal. I think you call that defensive audacity, Coach.
I'm going to tell you, if you could say get one first down the second half and score 27 points, if you ever want to see what audacity looked like, I think yesterday we saw what audacity looked like. People just finding a way to win a football game when there just not seem to be any way you could win it.
You know, I think winning is that, I mean, finding a way to win, winning week after week after week breeds that sort of thing.
It has to. I think we talk about our players visualizing themselves doing something that wins a football game. And in a game like that where so many individuals had to make plays to go out and win a game, because the offense, because we were not getting anything done defensively, we not only had to stop the team, but we had to have a turnover that created points. And again, I think that comes from having just to me, a bold belief that you can do some things. And I saw some defensive players that Ken Alvis's run, there was no way he was going to be denied that goal line. We'll see it in the film. It's an amazing thing.
And our apologies, by the way, to Ken Alvis in the dressing room. Our conversation with him had some sound problems. We were not able to use that, but we did talk to the rest of those magnificent defensive players, that audacious defense, and let's hear some of that now.
Carrying us sometime when we break down. Offense, they couldn't get clicking. You know, we took it upon ourselves to go out and just tell the defense, we got to go on, we got to play for the offense. And that's what we did, and I'm proud of them.
You look like a running back out there returning that ball.
Had to get in.
You know, all the coaches stressed that we needed a pick, that we need to make something happen in the secondary. And we knew LSU was going to come out throwing the ball. We just tried to make something happen, which we did.
Well, your return to go put them ahead was big.
Oh, yeah. You know, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We kept faith. We did what we had to do. Came out with the victory.
I think the offense owes you one.
Hey, it's a team thing. They'll get it back later in the year. But for right now, it's a team thing, and we got the victory.
We always believe we was going to win, no matter what.
That's the thing about it. Defense, hey, when our offense ain't clicking, we got to click. They pull us along when we doing bad, we got to pull them along. Them DBs stepped up for us. We had some freshmen to step up, Ken Alvis and all of them stepped up. Did a good job catching the ball.
You guys did a good job rushing the passer.
Yes, sir. It was a team effort.
This is the most exciting game of my whole career. I mean, the Alabama game was much more exciting than this, and neither was the Florida game last year. But, you know, the defense, we just pulled together. You know, somehow, some way, we always believe that means we work hard every day in practice, and somehow, some way in the end, that we're going to pull it through.
I know you've been in a lot of games, but you ain't never been in one like that.
No, never. I've never seen a defense score 28 points. Is that right? Well, excuse me. The kicker missed one on one of our touchdowns. I got to get on him for that. But boy, what a beautiful day.
Defense played hard, persevered. When offense went and getting together, I think we played the best game we've ever played. And I tell you one thing, we got the best secondary in the nation.
Great football game. And I never seen anything like it. They need to name you Defensive Player of the Week and Offensive Player of the Week this week.
Hey, Coach, he said he was having a slow start this year. I think he caught up today.
Well, I tell you what, I bet you if you go back and check by everybody else's standards, his start ain't been too slow. By his standards, they're pretty high, and they may be slow to him. But he's a great football player and a better young man.
The difference between an average season and a great season is being prepared. You have to have your team motivated and ready to play. And the same goes for being a great host. You need to have plenty of fresh, crisp Golden Flake chips and dips on hand and ready to serve. Serve Golden Flake. That's the easiest game decision you'll ever have to make. Golden Flake, great taste since 1923. The favorite chip of the Southeastern Conference. You know, in the coaching business, I spend about as much time on the telephone as I do on the football field. But with the LDDS Alumni Savers Program, I know I'm saving money and I'm helping Auburn with every call that I make.
Support Auburn and save money, whether it's for travel, business, or at home with LDDS, the official long-distance carrier of the Auburn Alumni Association.
And another thing to remember, every single call helps Auburn, even if the person on the other end doesn't exactly wear our colors.
For information, call 1-800-350-AUAU.
John Deere's newest high-horsepower tractors are here, and they're light years ahead of the rest, with visibility, maneuverability, Power and control unprecedented in tractors this size. These remarkable tractors offer abilities never before imagined. They're here, so see them today, only at your John Deere dealer.
See your Alabama John Deere dealer. Nothing runs like a deer.
1933 was Auburn's first season in the SEC. Ziegler was in its 6th year of making the finest meat products in our state. Since that time, the Auburn Tigers have been a contender in the SEC, and Ziegler has been the leading brand of processed meats in the state of Alabama. For 67 years, Ziegler has been the choice of millions of families in our state. Ziegler backs the Auburn Tigers, so let's all back Ziegler. So for bacon, wiener, sausage, and bologna, choose Ziegler. Ziegler, a tradition of great taste.
I think it was a great testament to the Auburn fans that despite the game being on television and threatening weather, still 85,000 at Jordan here.
I tell you, I think and very important that they were there too. You know, there where they had so many critical errors the LSU offense had, the noise you couldn't think. Mm-hmm. Great fans, great support. Glad they were there.
In fact, early in the game when the crowd came up, LSU got a motion penalty.
That's right.
To begin the game, and
they had several penalties because of that. And again, the mistakes they made, a lot of those are made by noise. When they throw interceptions, they throw into coverage. It's hard to concentrate when you can't hear.
They get a pretty good drive going here to open the game.
Well, they took about 7 minutes on this drive. I know the defense blocked a field goal and kept no points. But I know the offense, for the first time we touched the ball, we had about 8 minutes left. And when you're not moving the ball on offense, it hurts you. But boy, a great play there defensively. Again, so many plays. And, you know, another blocked field goal. I mean, another blocked field. They've had 2 blocked field goals, a blocked extra point. Specialty teams, again, that area has been perfect. When the offense comes on, and we start out very well. There are so many things that happen. Here's to start out with a screen. Harold Marr finds a seam and almost takes it all the way. Gets it down to their tier on the very first play. And we think we've got a drive going. We've stopped them. Offense, we've got a drive going.
Here's a 3rd and 7. You get 6.
3rd and 7, get 6, almost get the first down. But we get the ball in the short yardage.
On 4th and 1, go for it with
quarterback
the sneak.
You know, just probably a poor call on my part. We've been using the sneak so well, and I thought it was about 6 inches. It was actually probably 2 feet, and we did not get it. And you know, those are ones you wish you'd go back and run something else. But again, defense comes through again and aggressively attacks. Great pressure by the defensive line. That begins to set up things for our secondary later on in the game, as you see.
We're in the 2nd quarter now.
Oh, I tell you.
A near fumble here ruled an incomplete pass.
Well, again, anytime we look at they look at the officials on their side and say we got breaks. We look at the officials. We see the mistakes made both sides. The officials do as good a job as they can, and sometimes it goes your way, sometimes not. Nice catcher by Frank Sanders. We're doing some things well offensively, but not near enough. And you'll see some plays there, and we just can't get all of it done. There's a great run by Steve Davis. Steve Davis averaged over 8 yards a carry in the first half, but when it came time for our offense to work, it wasn't getting done.
Move it to the 23 where the drive stalls, and Matt Hawkins kicks another field goal to make it 3-0 Auburn.
Matt Hawkins now 4 for 4 on field goals, and again, he's been a bright spot there. At kickoffs, he sun-kicked perfectly in those kickoffs to keep the ball away from there. Great return.
But the lead doesn't last long.
Watch the ball. It's tipped in the air and tipped right to their receiver. Went for the interception, and people say, how can that happen? Well, when you get 4 interceptions for touchdowns in the second, that's how it happens. You go for plays like that one. That one was tipped, went right to the receiver. He makes a great catch and run.
Auburn makes 1 first down, but the drive stalls. LSU on offense again.
There's a great defense. Marcellus Marstella there, Chris Schilling. Everyone just playing so hard. Great job there, Alonzo Etheridge. And now you'll see one of the first big plays right here, a big hit right there by Mike Pelton. He runs the ball, and Chris Schilling jumps on the football.
Look at it again, and you can see Pelton get his arm around the ball carrier.
Well, our defensive coaches, Kurt Crane, all of our coaches work so hard, Joe Wick, on stripping the football when they make the tackle. And then Chris Schilling with his pursuit of the football, and now we're up 9-7 in the second quarter.
Here comes their best drive of the day. This is a 17-play drive to get the lead back just before the half, and it was helped right there on a 3rd and 9 play where we got an interference.
Again, I don't consider those foolish penalties. That's an aggressive penalty. You'd like it not to happen, but it's part of how they play. Gary Walker, a big hit right there. But a 7-minute drive to open the game by LSU, a 17-play drive in the second quarter. We were not on the field very much offensively, but the defense kept making plays. to hold them to field goal.
What amazes me is that as long as the defense played yesterday, Coach, they still had it at the end of the game.
Well, that was amazing. I mean, they were several of them had to go to the hospital to get dehydration, to get fluids, liquid back into their body. In the fourth quarter, as we'll see, I don't know how they were playing. They were on the field so long. Very seldom can you have a defense on the field like we had Saturday and win a football game.
What an effort it was. We'll be back in just a minute.
For hard-hitting, wide-open football excitement. For a tradition of pride, teamwork, and athletic performance. For the thrill of collegiate competition, you can always count on Auburn University.
And when I want real refreshment, it's always Coca-Cola.
For a bold, crisp taste you can count on time after time. That's why in Auburn and around the world,
everyone knows Alabama Power puts energy into Alabama's homes. But every year, more than 700 employees of Alabama Power also put their energy into Alabama schools. These are the linemen, secretaries, and other employees who volunteer to teach in the Alabama Power Teacher Corps.
Remember, I came to remind each of you that you're someone special.
Because no matter how long they've been working with electricity, there's still nothing like the thrill of seeing a light bulb go on.
Very good.
I personally have been a member of Blue Cross and Blue Shield since 1947. Some of these companies in town that have insurance with other private concerns, they got 3 or 4 clerks that are filing claims all the time in the factory. I'm not in the medical business, I'm in the shirt business. Blue Cross and Blue Shield will file the claims for you, pay the claims for you. I need to run my plant every day. I don't need to be in a healthcare business. I need somebody to do that for me, and that's Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama.
That's good. Okay.
Catch the colonial spirit at your hometown Colonial Bank.
He's just a little kid.
At Colonial, we believe banking is a lot like fishing. You have to know the waters, know what really matters to all those big old fish. Most of all, you need a can-do spirit that just doesn't quit. If you have all that, you'll find the best doesn't always have to be the biggest. The best will just catch more fish.
Colonial Bank.
Yes, what audacity the Auburn defense displayed yesterday. You need to get in on this audacity things, folks. Just explain the audacity idea once more, Coach.
Well, you know, it's funny, like that attitude last year, when we thought about our team slogan this year and audacity being the word, you kind of wondered what label you would have on this team. But if you could label a football game, the word audacity, the belief that you can accomplish anything, the belief that you can overcome all odds is an audacious belief. And I think yesterday in the second half we saw a definition of that. I think forever that LSU game is going to be the audacious game of 1993.
Get your audacity products. Let's take a look at the T-shirts. There are 2 designs there. And of course there's the audacity pin. And here's how you may order yours. The lapel pins are $5, $1.50 for handling for each order. T-shirts of $15, $3 for handling of each order. And the phone number there is 1-800-AUB-1994, easy to remember. And of course, if you want to write for them, it's the Auburn Network, Post Office Box 950, Auburn, Alabama, 36831, 0950. And many retail outlets around the state have the Audacity products. J&M Bookstore, Anders, the bookstores in Auburn, Parisian, Gaffer's, Hibbett Sporting Goods, and Olympia Sporting Goods. There is also this Audacity shirt on the market now. It is sanctioned by the Auburn licensing department, and it can be found at retail outlets around the state. And we want to make the point very well that portions of the proceeds of the sale of all of these products go to the academic enhancement programs for all Auburn student athletes. One quick word, Coach, about Brian Brinsfield, who was injured in the second quarter.
Well, the good news is that on the field, I was given the thumbs up by our doctors. I think he had got hit in the head as well as his back that's had some trouble, but everything was okay on the field. All the movement out there was precautionary, and we get 100%. Whether he's back tomorrow or next week, we don't know, but he's going to be fine.
Well, get back soon, Brian, and we'll be back for the second half, an exciting one in just a minute.
When it comes to great service, Price Oil Incorporated has a winning game plan. And since 1963, providing quality service to our authorized dealers has been our #1 objective. Our versatility of gasoline brands, flexibility of delivery, and expert marketing support has made the Price Oil family of authorized dealers a championship team. So look for the lion, which shows we're on the prowl for more dealers to join our family under the Conoco, Exxon, or Texaco sign. Price Oil, on the prowl.
You're right about that, Coach.
Are you sure you got it?
Roll film.
Take 26.
We may have different ideas about football, but we all agree on the best lumber for building outdoors. Cause nothing beats Osmo's pressure-treated pine from Great Southern Wood.
It's clean, straight, and backed by a lifetime guarantee.
You're cut about that, Roach.
Cut. Not
again.
So remember, if it doesn't say Osmos on the yellow tag, believe me, you don't want it.
You're right about that, Coach.
Whatever uniforms they wear, football players work hard to be their very best. That's what makes them winners. Just like Golden Flake. Since 1923, they've been making the South's finest chips. So whether you choose thin and crispy, dip style, or any of the great tasting snacks, with Golden Flake, you can always count on getting the best. So always pick the snacks with a winning taste. Golden Flake, great taste since 1923.
We get back into the second half of play now. The Auburn offense is sputtering, and LSU will make the most of it, Coach.
Well, I mean, up to this time, you haven't seen anything yet. Because, again, offensively, we didn't quite make anything happen. And, boy, you're going to see some fireworks. If they come out there and you see an interception here, the defense kept making plays and giving opportunities to us, but it wasn't going to be a day where we could be productive. And things just weren't working well for us. We have a good throw and catch here and a first down by Frank Sanders. But as we moved the ball down, it seemed like something would always go wrong. We had a miscue. Is this the fumble, possibly the fumble?
This is the fumble.
Where he's trying to throw the football, and it was stripped and picked up. But they faked the linebacker blitz, and our tackle jumped inside to take the linebacker. The defensive end came free. It's just a miscommunication, and puts their offense back on the field. There's another great fumble and hit by our defense. And Brian Robinson made a big hit interception. Fumble recovery there. Great hit on the play, and another time the defense has jumped up and made the play.
Auburn is 3 and out, where LSU has the ball now at their own 38-yard line.
Well, there's just a series here where there's a beautiful play they throw on the flag route, but there's a series here where we just can't get anything done, and it's all LSU.
Here's a big play.
For a while.
3rd and 1. Stop them.
Well, defense comes up, and what was critical here early, all these series where the defense held them to field goals and allowed just, I believe, 1 touchdown of all those points they got. Most of them were field goals.
13-9 now. They take the lead midway of the third quarter. Again, Auburn is 3 and out, and Kennison makes a great return, and so they're down deep again.
Well, like I say, the punt returns, there's the 1 touchdown they get up the middle for the score. Defense is on the field too long at this point, and everything is going LSU's way. They're about to do something in here again. Defense continually tries to make plays. I think what you'll see right here is after the great return, we hold them to a field goal, but you'll see now, I think you'll see a 14-point difference here, the longest of the day. And all I could think about was, can we offensively at least put 1 score together and score so that we can get this game to the last series and try to win it at the end. No one was giving up.
Here comes the beginning of the turnaround.
And here it is. Kenny Alvis, this is probably one of the most spectacular interception returns for a touchdown I've seen in a long time. Somebody that would not give up.
Man, he did it all himself, too. My goodness.
I think if you see it in slow motion, you're going to see some great effort here on this play as you see him make this play. Kenny Alvis, a redshirt freshman out of Demopolis, Alabama.
You can tell the defensive guys are not accustomed to blocking, Coach.
Well, Kenny, as he continues to improve, is a tremendous athlete in size and strength and power. Looks like he might be a pretty good person on offense, too, if we can't get something going. Looks like he can make something happen.
From this point on, the defense lit up like you've never seen.
Well, great job there again. Gary Walker and Willie Whitehead. Front 4, I tell you, is pretty feisty up there.
3rd and 10 now. Here comes another big play.
Well, we were very fortunate that most of their pass routes were thrown over the middle. Fred Smith, I tell you, if anybody you want to see have a day like yesterday, Fred Smith, what he's overcome and the role he's had with this team as our nickelback, jumping right forward right there. And Now we've got something going. It's getting kind of scary now for LSU and getting kind of, and the crowd. You can't imagine the Auburn crowd when this was going on.
Matt Hawkins kicks a big point to tie the game here at 23 now. 3rd and 3 coming up for LSU on their next possession.
You know, you got LSU a great credit. They would never gave up when things didn't work out. They make a big 3rd down play. They overmatch the short defender with the tall tight end, and they move the ball and kick the field goal to go ahead.
They're down on the goal line now. 1st and goal at the 8.
Well, defense continues to make plays.
Would be critical.
Oh, that's, again, the defense right here when they had to force them to a field goal, which they made. And again, it looked like LSU might have done enough because, again, it would take a miracle at this point. Damian Craig, we have him in because the offense is not clicking. We hope one person may make a big play. And it wasn't that Pat Nix was not doing good. We just were looking for one person to make a play. But a big punt, big 52-yard punt at the critical time, just like against Ole Miss.
Good coverage.
Defense does a great job of getting on him there.
Yeah, great coverage.
John Cohen again making a big play, and now we're into the most maybe unbelievable part, the last 5 minutes or 3 minutes. Because they're running out the clock. We've used all of our timeouts now.
At this point, you take your 3rd one. It's 2 minutes
That's
to go.
it. If they get a first down, it's over. If they just do anything to get a first down, it's over. There it is right there.
Harris, I believe, tipped that ball up in the air.
Unbelievable. But I got to be careful. Last year they would have called that for celebration. They did that twice, but they haven't called it this year. But we better go correct that. You just hate to get angry with anyone after such a performance, but they come right back.
Yep.
And again, I do feel sorry for the players at LSU because they played so well. I don't feel like I hate what I feel for them. But again, credit goes to our defense, the way they played, and to our football team. And this is where you feel like it's a bad dream. You see the young man coming to the side. We get the interception to win the game. They followed it. Now they still have it with 50 seconds left and can win the game. And
you were pleading for that ball to get out of bounds.
Oh, it's just, and they just keep on going.
They complete another pass
Great
now with
catch.
about just a few seconds left now.
I think 16 seconds left right here. They have one more play with 16 seconds left. Defense is still trying to rush and so tired. They still try to rush. And there's the pass on Chris Schilling. Goes up, makes another interception, and it's over. And it's I guess 6 interceptions, 4 for touchdowns, 8 or 9 turnovers. The most remarkable defensive play probably in the history of Auburn. The most touchdowns scored in the NCAA, title record for the most touchdowns ever scored in the NCAA by a defense. People that were at that football game got to experience something that's very seldom ever seen.
Back in just a minute.
For hard-hitting, wide-open football excitement. For a tradition of pride, teamwork, and athletic performance. For the thrill of collegiate competition. You can always count on Auburn University.
And when I want real refreshment, it's always Coca-Cola.
For a bold, crisp taste you can count on time after time. That's why in Auburn and around the world,
That's good. Okay. Are you guys colonial spirit at your hometown colonial bank? You're just a little kid.
At Colonial, we believe banking is a lot like fishing. You have to know the waters, know what really matters to all those big old fish. Most of all, you need a can-do spirit that just doesn't quit. If you have all that, you'll find the best doesn't always have to be the biggest. The best will just catch more fish.
Colonial Bank. We can do.
Partners in integrity, linked by a heritage of quality you'll know by this prism, the hallmark of your official Rolex jeweler. See the most complete selection of the timepiece that sets a world standard of achievement. With a warranty and service backed by 8 decades of Rolex experience. So if you're looking for a Rolex watch, look for this hallmark at your official Rolex jeweler.
Rolex watches from Bromberg, Birmingham, and Montgomery.
If you were to take every article, every review, every honor, every award, everything positive people have had to say about the Toyota Camry and put it on a wall, you'd need a very big wall. And now there's the new 1994 Toyota Camry with dual airbags, a new V6, and built in America. Imagine the wall we're going to need for that.
air transportation provided by Delta Airlines, the choice of the Auburn Tigers. You'll love the way we fly.
East Tennessee State next week. We'll see you then.
Coach Bowden's apparel provided by The Locker Room. This has been the Auburn Football Review, brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama, the Caring Company, John Deere, and your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find a complete line of outdoor power equipment for your farm and home. Price Oil Incorporated. Look for the lion at authorized dealers. Price Oil, on the prowl. Your Alabama Toyota dealer. I love what you do for me, Toyota. Ziegler, a tradition of great taste. LDDS, the official long-distance carrier of the Auburn Alumni Association. Alabama Power, the energy to make Alabama better. Golden Flake Snack Foods, great taste since 1923. Great Southern Wood, makers of Osmos pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't say Osmos on the yellow tag, believe me, you don't want it. Colonial Bank, your we can do bank. And by your Alabama Coca-Cola bottler, always Coca-Cola.